Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Car Addict again here. I know everybody wants to listen to me beat this dead horse some more, so here we go. If I start talking fast, it's because I've done this 3 times now, and every time I get done finished saying all my shit, I look at that timer on the GoPro and it's just way too long, and I'm trying to do it shorter, so I'm going to go fast here. SI and Type R. People are saying it's got this part from the Type R and the SI. So I looked up EXT, SI, Type R part numbers. Now, engine-wise, SI has more power than the EXT. It also has a little bit lower compression and 4 pounds more booster. So I think 16.5 in this, 20.3 is what they advertise for the SI. So where do you think your power comes from? Because same part number for part number. I don't know why the engine code's got to be different, because it's different inside. Maybe it's the same engine code and you got to look at like an actual casting, like you used to, what is it, a PR3 was a Type R or something like that. I don't remember those anymore, but same block, crank, head, cams, VTC actuators, intake manifold, throttle body. SI's turbo is different, but the intercooler is the same. People are saying the SI has stronger internals. Well, obviously the block and crank are the same. So the sleeves are going to be the same. Main bolts, the same. I believe this is only done for compression ratio differences and not to beef it up. However, I don't know for sure. SI has a different rod and a different piston. But it does have the same rod bolts, same piston rings, and same wrist pin. So you take that how you want. I take it as they're exactly the same thing, but they wanted to lower the compression a little bit to run more boost. Okay, shifter. Transmission end of it, the actual mechanical linkage part is the same between both. The rubber feet where the actual shifter bolts to the car in the cabin, are different. SI and Type R do share that rubber versus the EXT. The bushings at the transmission end of the cables, one shared across all Civicx. The other one, the SI does share with the Civic Type R. And then the actual cage assembly with the shifter in it, that differs between all three. If you want to put the Civic Type R shifter, it's 26 bucks. The rubber feet, $2, and the bushing, $3. So for $31, you could have the full Civic Type R deal, which is different part numbers, and if you want to go with the trim lines, it's got to be better than the SI, even as far as like a short throw, tight shift, whatever you want to say. Alright, front suspension. Sway bar, different from all four. And I assume when you buy the sway bar, the bushing comes with it. They all have the same outer dimension of bushing. Bigger inside hole for the thicker bar to use the same bracket, because they all have the same bracket except for the Type R, just different bars. So now the SI bar could also come with the same durometer bushing as the Civic Type R. So you may have the same stiffness of the bushing, it's just not the same thing. I can't tell you that. Even if I had both in my hand, I can't measure rubber's durometer because I don't have anything to do it with. Front arms, different on all of them. Knuckles, different on all of them. And then the compliance bushing, if you know the way the front arm is, it's hanging down, you got the ball joint for the knuckle, you got the one forked area with the bushing in it that goes in the subframe and the bolt through. Back here you actually have a compliance bushing that bolts to the car and the arm is through it. Now that bushing itself, different across all three. If you want Type R parts, they're $115 a pop. That takes care of the front. Rear, again, all 4 bars are different. Brackets are the same except for Type R. I didn't get a price for the Civic Type R front sway bar, and I don't even know if it fits, but I would assume it does, but I don't know for sure. Rear would cost you about 85 bucks. The links, the sway bar links across front and rear are all the same. Front and rear aren't the same, but all rear links are the same except for the Type R. And then the fronts, all links are the same except the Type R. And the Type R actually specifies a left and a right. Back to the rear end again. The knuckles, they're all the same except the Type R. The upper arms All four are different. I would not guarantee, but I would think that there's a chance this Type R has a different suspension geometry than the rest of them, but I don't know. I wouldn't say for sure. So that could be why the arms aren't the same, and they do have the same, again, durometer bushing as an SI. But part number wise, they're different arms on the upper arms. There's two lower arms, an A and a B. The A looks like the EXT and the SI share the same arm, but the Sport and the Civic Type R don't share the same, but they're just different. Arm B, there's an EXT part number and a Sport hatch part number. Civic Type R part number, they're all three different. The SI lists two different part numbers, and I'm not stupid, one's not left, one's not right. The left has two part numbers, the right has two part numbers. One coincides with EXT, one coincides with Sport hatch. So your SI lower arm B is either the same as an SI or EXT or Sport hatch. I don't know how you're going to tell which one is which. Just for my own benefit, I looked up the subframes because I wanted to see. I was trying to look up cross-referencing and see what Type R part will go to my EXT. Front subframe, EXT and the SI has the same. Sport hatch is different. Civic Type R is different. In the rear, the EXT shares the subframe with the Sport hatch. The SI is different, and the Civic Type R is different. So at least I know anything that goes to the front end of an SI should go to this. Anything that goes to the rear end of a Sport hatch should work on this. But the Civic Type R sway bar at least works in this. So, which I'm probably going to do. That's another day. Last thing, transmission. Limited slip. I'd love to have it. Loved it. Want one. We'll get one someday because it's $807 for the SI diff, and the final drive gear is $153. Same final drive as the EXT, but if the parts diagrams are correct, it's a 14 bolt pattern instead of a 10. First through sixth gear, same ratios. So, as far as the transmission goes, it looks like the diff is the only difference. There you go. As far as Civic Type R bushings in your SI, guaranteed one shifter bushing and some rubber feet. As far as suspension bushings go, it's definitely not the same part number. There's a chance it's the same stiffness, but I don't know how the hell you would prove that. Anyways, I'm going to go through this and look at what I'm going to, because I figure in one shot I might as well do my springs, my sway bars, any bushing I want. While the car is torn down, torn apart, I'll replace everything I want suspension-wise. Okay. Oh, last thing, brakes. Master cylinder, same. Booster, different. But it says they're both 10-inch. So, I don't know. Calipers and rotors and stuff are different, yes. But if the calipers had bigger pistons or anything and they took more fluid, you would think the master cylinder would have a larger bore. So, I'm guessing the rotors might be bigger, but I'm going to guess the piston caliper is the same size. Alright, I got this one shorter than the last. I'm going to hurry up before it hits 10 minutes, and thanks for watching. That's me just looking at the time. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Talk to you later. I'm out.